What's up, everybody? Homage to Bilf there. Coach Potatoes back again. TJ, Ben, Bilf. Red Potato with the neck beards
I
back.
did it again.
You pointed,
Did you miss point at the
I
camera?
went to point it like to them, but it was this way.
Wow. But anyways,
He has a degree.
today he does have a degree. Today we're gonna talk to you about WNBA. Fuck no, we're not talking about WNBA. Wow. We're gonna talk about.
Why did not approve that message?
Wow. We're going to talk about what's going on in the NBA playoffs, kind of the breakdown, the race is coming to an end. Both Lakers are falling apart just at the seams.
I'm watching them.
We're going to talk about
They garb.
we're going to talk about what's going on in the NFL. Witten's coming out of retirement. Gurley needs to go into retirement because apparently he has more arthritis than Witten does.
That was good. That was the dome. That was good.
We'll see what we kind of know where Foles is going. Well, I guess everyone knows where Foles is going. Just it can't be official yet. But first, we're going to talk about UFC 235. The Coach Potatoes all watched it together. We were jonesing for an Askren. Like that one.
By watching it together, we took a break from our threesome to watch it.
Yes, we had like a 11 people here.
It's quite a bit.
I thought we were going to escape the three-way talk.
More than I wanted.
We
Apparently
did.
not.
We're on the 11 way.
We're on the orgy
We're
talk.
both great.
Now, we're just going straight to orgies. I'm here for the gangbang.
Nothing wrong with an orgy. We need more G of those.
That's a good one.
Oh,
Anyway,
all right.
so talk about the fight.
YouTube algorithm is being thrown out the window for this
True.
episode.
Yeah.
235. We're going to start with the main event. John Jones handily.
I thought we were going to go
Yeah.
first fight up to the main event, but okay.
No, you got to start off with the big one, and then if they want to keep listening, then they can hear the rest.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
but okay.
Fair enough.
Okay, master of the algorithm.
Well, obviously I'm not. Although the last video got 2 views. That's the quickest it's ever gotten, 2 views.
It's up to 10, the last one. Design debate?
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
One of our videos is up to like 48 views because I watched like 12 times making fun of Bill.
Our national championship one's over like 600.
That's because I wasn't in it.
That's weird. No, we need neck beard. Neck beard.
Wow.
Neck beard.
Stop being the champ. It says no beard. Anyway, John Jones
Hashtag too lazy to shave.
beats Anthony Smith pretty handily, though not without controversy.
Very handily.
So, Smith really just didn't get going in that fight. John Jones did arguably what he does best and basically neutralizing everything the other guy can do. The controversy was that he did land an illegal knee
It was
to the head of Anthony Smith.
It wasn't obvious. So it wasn't even like a close. It was a fucking obvious knee.
Clear
to the
as
head,
day.
hand like palm down. It was
Resulting in a 2-point deduction. Which,
And at that
didn't
time,
fucking matter.
And at that time was probably his second illegal.
Yes, he had like
we
the
were-
soccer
we were
kick
We're gonna get to that.
to
Yeah.
his head as well.
When
but
he
they
was
didn't-
on his back. Yeah.
But Smith blocked it, I believe, is why they didn't call it, because he didn't
Yeah.
land it. But the knee, clear as day, boom, right to the temple, hands on the ground, can't do that. Anthony Smith, being the competitor and noble guy that he is, opts not to take the DQ, victory and thus championship. So hats off to him for wanting to just kind of keep going and earn the belt if he was going to win. Saving grace for John Jones, and that he gets to keep his belt.
Yeah, John Jones was very lucky because had that landed, I guess, it kind of landed like on his cheek area. I guess had landed more so on his temple. Had it been just a flat out KO of Anthony Smith, where he would have had no say, he would have just been knocked out. That would have been a DQ.
Yep.
With or without Smith's consent. Smith is the champ. So John Jones dodged a bullet, and
Absolutely.
we mentioned the 2 points. It did nothing, but I think that was also a makeup for the kick that.
Yeah, that's why it was 2. And
Yeah,
not 1.
what he missed, because I agree with TJ. That was the first time I've ever seen 2 points deducted.
Yep.
But I
Strange.
think that was a total makeup call because he missed the first one.
Herb had a rough night. Herb Dean had a
Fuck
rough
yeah, he
night.
did.
And we'll get to that fight in a little bit.
But Herb had the roughest night of all, and people got the shit beat out of them.
Yeah, that was that was just tough to see. We talk about it all the time in any sport, any game you watch. You want to see it happen with as minimal controversy as possible. You just want it to be straight up. In this case, 2 dudes are going to step into the ring. They're going to trade. Hopefully just go in there and the better man is going to win. And in this case, I think the better man did win. But again, it's always like that. Yeah, but You remember when he fucking soccer kicked him and he kneed him in the side of the head illegally? Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that too.
Fair, but I think without those, Jones was going to win. Jones was winning before those happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Dean could have taken 5 points, and he still would have won.
It would have been different if they were neck and neck, and then Jones did that, and then
yeah.
Anthony Smith was kind of wavered after that because of the illegal hit. But
true.
I mean, he was basically in the driver's seat the entire time.
Oh, and I'm sure he got at least 2 10-8 rounds. I didn't look at the scorecard, but I'm sure
I think it was 48-44 was the
even after the
card with the deductions.
Yeah, I think it was 48-44 unanimous. That sounds right.
If I remember that.
Math, but
obviously, what's next for John Jones? Who knows? I think the heavy speculation is he will test the waters.
So he only would have had what? 1 10-8 round. Because it would have been 50-44 instead of 50-45.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think go for it.
I'm sorry. I think from this point, we talked about it last week when we were previewing the fight. Light heavy is fucking garbage. It's just it's a trash division. There's just not, the quality that used to be there. I don't think there's really anything left for John Jones to do in that division.
Honestly, there's not. The only way is up. Literally, put on them poundage. Although he probably walks around
at heavyweight or close.
Oh, absolutely.
225 is the
235. I thought.
I could be wrong, but
regardless, he probably walks around 230. I'd say 225. They're probably in that ballpark.
Yeah, light heavy is 205. Yeah, it wouldn't be too difficult for him to reach that. But that's honestly right now the heavyweight division's a little more stacked than light heavy. Be fair, I think any division is more stacked than light heavy, including the flyweights that they're thinking of canning. I think they are more stacked than the light heavies.
Yeah, light heavy's just got nothing going for it. But we'll see. But John Jones and still the champ. Unlike Mr. Woodley, the other title fight that happened on that card was Tyron Woodley against Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title. Woodley, the defending champ, but we got a new welterweight champ, Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
And he did it in style. He dominated. Flat out, 5 rounds. They went all 5. They went the distance, and he just controlled it. Yeah. He controlled it from start to finish. Normally, in title fights, you always see the challenger has to finish the champ to get a decision, barring some type of performance like this. Because if you leave it it could be 3-2, who knows? The champ is pretty much always going to get the split. But, not even a debate.
Oh, if it happened here, it would have been fucking a worst call ever. As I demonetize ourselves right there. I wouldn't be surprised if there was another couple 10-8 rounds, especially those last 2.
Yeah.
Woodley had nothing, which is weird because going into this, I thought they were pretty much mirrors of each other.
Yeah.
Just 2 big guys who can brawl, but they both had a very good wrestling background. That wrestling didn't really show up for Woodley, and I don't know if he forgot he had hands. He did nothing. He tried nothing. He did nothing. He didn't even try to escape when he was on his back. Granted, I'm sure it's pretty hard when you got a huge-ass man on you, pinning you down. Hashtag 3-way.
Wow.
But I don't want to take it away from Usman. Woodley, for some reason, did not look like he even wanted to be there. He had nothing. He didn't even try. There was no...
You mean he looked like how he's looked every time he's defended his title?
I've been a Woodley defender because both Maya and Thompson were 2 fighters that wanted him to come in. Whether it be Maya to take him down, submit him, whether it be Thompson to counter. I'm a Woodley defender on those fights. However, this fight, that should not have been the case. He should have been the aggressor. And we saw what happened when Usman was. That's what Woodley should have done.
Which didn't make any sense. It seemed like Woodley's strategy, as soon as the bell rang, was to back up to the fence.
And he did.
And then just let Usman get in the clinch, and then repeatedly just uppercut him in the ribs, and he didn't even try to defend it. It's like he just keeps eating these shots. It's like, what are you doing?
He did nothing, yeah.
It's like you're just taking punches for no reason. And, while there may not be ones that are going to put you out, they're point-scoring punches, which you are not throwing yourself. So, how are the judges supposed to give me any points if you're just like, okay, go ahead, boom, 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 and you just take it? Like, that makes no sense.
Took the takedowns. Like I said, I don't want to take anything away from Usman. He did a hell of a performance. He deserved it. I would be shocked if something didn't come out saying, Woodley was injuring or nursing an injured thigh or something.
I don't think he will, only because of Woodley's post-fight interview. To give credit, to Woodley, he admitted, he's like, what did he say? He was like, he was in a bad dream. He's like, I wanted to throw, but I couldn't. Like, it was just, he's like, I can't explain what happened in there, but I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. And Guzman executed exactly what he wanted to do, and he was the better man tonight. So credit to Woodley, in that, and he wasn't trying to make excuses. He wasn't trying to say he was, oh, I tore my groin last night, so now couldn't move or whatever. So but tip of the cap to Guzman. He looked awesome. He looks good, dominates the champ, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I know they already said like right after that Covington will get the next first shot at him, to get rid of that not really interim belt that he has.
What a weird situation.
Yeah, that division is in a kind of weird state.
For those who don't know, he's been the interim champ, I think the past two champ fights, and he's still held the interim and hasn't gotten his. He did get a shot, but injury from Woodley, injury from him, made the scheduling weird. You got to feel for that guy because he's next, and they keep jumping over him.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting a shot, so we can kind of get rid of that of just like, okay, let's just get rid of the interim belt, just fight, so we can figure out who's the undisputed welterweight champ, and that'd just be a good fight, Guzman and Covington. So, one before that was the Robbie Lawler, Ben Askren fight, which also was full of controversy. The first blip for Herb on this main card. So, Askren's debut in the UFC. Lawler's obviously a longtime vet, former champ. They come out and Askren pretty much shoots immediately for a takedown, which Robbie defends pretty well. Picks Askren up over his head, throws him on his head on the mat, starts fucking wailing on him, which I thought should have resulted in a stoppage.
I agree.
Personally.
I agree.
At that time, yes.
Yeah, Askren was not defending himself. He was just eating those shots. I think at one point he may have gone out for a second and then kind of came back too, much like I think Lawler might have done. But then Askren survives due to Herb not stopping it, ends up getting back to his feet, and then kind of some more scrambling going around. And then Askren takes his back, and ends up getting Lawler in a bulldog choke and starts cranking.
Yeah, takes his back, and then they got to some scramble in the end of it.
Yeah, he kind of has Lawler against the cage, and it wasn't so deep it wasn't deep in the sense that it was under his chin, but you can still generate a shitload of leverage, in the position he was in, and so Herb couldn't see his face because Lawler was like face down essentially from where Herb's perspective was, and you can see Lawler's arm kind of go limp for a second.
Well, his right arm fell off of Askren, it just flopped onto the mat. That's
what Herb said was the reason why he stopped it, and then from what I've read that. They say Askren let go a little bit when he was like, stop, and that's when Lawler came back too. But then, so that's when they were officially like, stop, Lawler was awake. And he was like, hey, what the fuck? Why'd you stop it? But ultimately, it's a tough judgment call. It's one you just hate to see again, the controversy. Don't let the ref decide the fight. We want you guys to decide it. But, it was a shaky debut for Askren, I guess is how I'll describe it.
Yeah.
Starting it off by getting dropped on your head and just repeatedly getting punched in the face isn't the best way to enter the octagon. But he got it done. Everybody can put an asterisk on it or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's the winner.
Yeah, I don't blame Herb at all for stopping that because I saw it go limp. It might have been because if he passed out, it might have been because he was like, well, he's not going to let go, so I might as well just wait it out. Either way, whether you think it's good or bad, whether it was good or bad, I think he had just cause to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's very difficult to argue otherwise. Because it did go limp, again, whether from exasperation or he passed out. That's what it looked like. I'm more upset of him for not stopping it when Askren was getting his head pounded off the ground. I thought that was a worse no call than the call he actually is being talked about.
I'd agree with that, personally.
I think Askren said in the interview right after the fight that Herb was asking Robbie, are you okay? Are you okay? And Askren didn't hear him reply. So I wonder if Askren was replying to Herb when he was getting pounded in the face, and then Robbie wasn't, and that's why the fight happened. Or the stoppage happened.
It's like, well, yeah, when you're getting your head bounced off the mat and not defending it, that's like textbook, stop it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he landed on the ground, he got in one or two good shots in. He got 3-4 decent ones, not he wasn't defending, and everyone was like, "Stop it!" And then Askren recovered. Then that happened. So Herb's actually known more so for letting it go on longer than it should. And I don't know. I think
night.
it was he did have a tough night.
Herb.
That could have gotten into his head too, though, because he didn't stop the one. He's like, "Oh, great! Everyone's like, thought I let this one go too long again," and then the next one happens. He's like, "I better stop this shit before I let it go."
Yeah.
You let it go on too long a second time in the same fight.
I am with Bill. I think with the arm going limp like that, whether you try and make a case that Robbie was deliberately doing that to just wait it out, or if he actually did go out for a second, due to loss of air or whatever. Regardless, from Herb's perspective, I can't see his face. He's not responding to me if I am, calling to him like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Yeah.
I gotta interpret that as he's out. I need to get this guy off of him so we can,
Especially with the arm. Yeah.
Yeah. What I will say is, I know he went in. He grabbed his arm. I think there's a video where you can see he lifts it with the thumbs up. But like I said, him to go in there first and ask, it was not to put the blame on Lawler. I shouldn't make my arm look limp or else the ref might see it. I think that was just cause for him to stop it. Whether good or bad, I don't blame Herb for doing that. That's his job to help to save these fighters from permanent brain damage.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's what they're there to do.
That's what they're gonna get. But yeah,
it sucks. We didn't pay the closest of attention to the women's fight with Zhang and Torres. But Zhang walked away, unanimous decision winner. At the first fight on the main card was Cody Garbrandt and Pedro Munoz, and they came out, and apparently nobody has still taught Cody how to defend himself.
Which is weird because he was a boxer first. He should know better than to just throw looping haymakers.
He just starts getting haymaker happy and not defending himself. And
Paige Van Zandt hasn't stopped losing since.
They get into a haymaker battle.
Third straight?
This is third straight. Twice the Dillashaw though was the champ.
Yeah, Pedro Munoz is an experienced guy. He's a good fighter. But any strategy against another professional fighter, it should not be, "I'm just going to walk out there and just trade with you and not defend myself at all," because you're just opening yourself up to get knocked out, and that's what happened.
That was both their strategies for a little bit.
yeah, it kind of opened up, and they were just trading, and they were just like, "You know what, fuck it, we're going to swing, and one of us is going to go down." And
it was Cody.
And it was Cody.
Because he did the exact same thing in the Dillashaw fight. The same looping punches. Dillashaw was more crisp. He just got there first. But people forget he rocked Dillashaw. He was very well in that fight, and then he gets just dragged into these looping haymakers, whether because he's his emotional guy, he's pissed, or whether he just wants to knock your lights out. He fell into the trap 3 straight times in a row. He got tagged first and went down.
Yeah, that's why I feel like part of that's on his coaches. Like you got to be on him. You got to watch the film and be like, "Hey, you're falling into these exact patterns when these things are happening."
These haymakers,
it's like you start like, he connects once, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, open season." He's like, "Now I got to stop defending myself and just go for it."
Yeah,
it's but you didn't rock that guy. Like it was a clean hit, but he's not like dazed. He's still coming at you. So you got to be on the defensive.
He's learned to pick his shots. The only way you want to do those haymakers is when you're at least on the dude on the ground. Now, when the guy's straight up, squared up to you, you don't start throwing haymakers. Not that I've ever been in a fight, but Cody has past 3 times. Same thing happened.
At the very least, Cody always does provide exciting fights. So I will say that he always puts on a good show. Good dude, great fighter. He's just been on the losing end the past couple of times. So
he's not going anywhere. He's gonna stick it. He's still gonna get top 10 fights. He's probably still in the top 10, but learn, my friend, learn. No one can blame you for losing unless you don't learn anything.
Yep. Go home, watch tape, and come back stronger. Hope so.